Dunsfold Park aerodrome site in Surrey has an illustrious history, which includes the development and testing of the world-famous Harrier, Hawk and Hunter aircraft. Now it's the turn of 12 LS460 cars and their Mark Levinson reference surround sound systems to be put to the test.
It's an impressive sight when you see all the cars laid out. You know, I think none of us were sure.
Lexus right there.
Yes.
With the recording of the music, we'd all been in the territory of the known. And once we got to Dunsfold, we were in the territory of the unknown because no one had done this before. These things take time. There are so many different combinations of ways of approaching it.
Over many days, the cars are painstakingly positioned.
I think we've pretty much figured out what we're going to do. We're just moving these middle cars here out a little bit.
12 cars all pointed one way, 12 cars pointing the other way, so many different combinations. Windows up, windows down, doors open, etc., etc. We learnt that you need to try all of the combinations and keep at it, and eventually you will find the winning combination, and that's what we did.
Man and machine working in harmony.
The 19-speaker Mark Levinson sound system is phenomenal. I was amazed how well the cars could handle the bass frequencies especially.
Oh, right, that's inside here.
When they walk past the car that's playing the big taiko drums, it actually shakes your rib cage. It's that powerful.
A lot of bass coming out of it.
Is it?
Yeah, it's quite surprisingly powerful sound system.
The composers work their magic, solving problems with mechanics and modern technology.
We're running upwards of 60 tracks on some of the pieces of music. We basically combined all the individual microphone recordings from Air Studios now. So I've got individual microphones where violins are, for instance, you know, first violins I've got 2 microphones, second violins 2. So it all adds up when you have the whole orchestra.
Chris is sending signal through the computer. It's all separately here. We have 24 outs here. And each one of, stereo pair of these is going through to a separate car. And we're able to assign tracks from the computer here to each car. So that's kind of how it works. It's pretty simple, really, because it just works through this one little box.
In 1953, at Dunsfold Park, the world speed record was broken by Neville Duke in a prototype Hunter Mark III. Today, sound barriers are not being broken by the LS460s, but the sound of an automotive orchestra is being heard for the very first time.
The experience of walking around the cars and actually hearing the music is quite spine-tingling.
I've switched the first violins to that car over there and put the second violins here just to try and get a bit more stereo spread.
Good idea.
Yeah, ideally the orchestra, you know, the firsts are there and the seconds are there, but I think it just might help. When you're not standing too close to any particular car, you hear the nice, big, reverberant sound, you know, that is part of the recording in the hall. But when you get close to a car, because you're hearing the close mic'd bit of whether it's the trumpet or the horns or the piano, whatever, you hear a much more intimate sound. So it is much more like you're walking amongst the orchestra.
Your ears are getting drawn different ways as you start to become conscious of how the music is being mixed and played out to you. So at the back, you suddenly hear the timpani drums banging and booming at you. And then at the front, you can hear the lushness of the strings. So walking around is just, it's a fantastic experience because suddenly the idea that originally I had in my head is starting to come to life. It's great.
After months of work scoring, recording, editing and testing, the composer's jobs are done. Finally, the Lexus Symphony Orchestra is tuned up and ready to amaze and entertain its audience.